Hello and welcome to The Entrepreneur's Edge, the podcast where we dive into the stories of entrepreneurs who have turned their ideas into successful businesses. I'm your host, Emily, and today, I'm excited to be joined by John, a visionary entrepreneur who's here to share his journey with us. We'll be discussing the inspiration behind his startup, the challenges he faced, and the lessons he's learned along the way. John, it's great to have you here today.
Thank you, Emily. I'm thrilled to be here and share my story with your audience.
We're excited to hear it. So, let's get started. Let's begin with the genesis of your business. What inspired you to start your company, and how did you identify the problem your startup solves?
Great question, Emily. My inspiration came from a personal frustration I experienced. I was struggling with managing my time effectively and realized that many others were in the same boat. That's when I started thinking about how I could create a solution. I did some research, talked to potential customers, and realized there was a real need for a simple, user-friendly productivity tool. That's when the idea for Time Master was born.
Sounds like you had a clear vision from the start. How did you go from identifying this problem to actually deciding to start a business?
Once I realized the scope of the problem, I couldn't ignore it. I knew I had to take action. I started small, prototyping solutions, testing them with real users, and refining the concept based on feedback. It was a lot of trial and error, but each step brought me closer to realizing that this idea had real potential.
Every startup journey has its share of challenges. What were some of the biggest obstacles you faced in the early stages, and how did you overcome them?
There were plenty of challenges. One of the biggest was securing initial funding. Investors were skeptical because I was a first-time entrepreneur with no track record. I faced a lot of rejections before I finally got a yes. Another challenge was building a product that truly resonated with users. We had to pivot multiple times before we got it right.
Rejection and product pivots can be tough. How did you stay motivated during those challenging times?
It wasn't easy, but I kept reminding myself of why I started. I was passionate about solving this problem, and I knew that if I gave up, the problem would remain unsolved. I also surrounded myself with supportive people who believed in the vision, and that made all the difference.
Building the right team is crucial for any startup. How did you go about assembling your team, and what qualities do you look for in potential team members?
I knew from the start that I couldn't do it alone, so I focused on finding people who were not only talented, but also shared the same passion for the mission. I looked for individuals who were resilient, adaptable, and willing to go the extra mile. One of my first hires was someone with a skill set that complemented mine. We balanced each other out perfectly.
That's a smart approach. How do you foster a strong team culture, especially in a startup where everyone is wearing multiple hats?
Communication and trust are key. I make it a point to be transparent about the company's goals and challenges. I also encourage open dialogue, where everyone feels comfortable sharing ideas and feedback. This creates a sense of ownership among the team, which is essential in a startup environment.
Securing funding is often a major hurdle for startups. How did you manage to secure funding for your startup? And what strategies did you use to scale your business?
Securing funding was definitely challenging. After many rejections, I realized I needed to refine my pitch. I focused on clearly articulating the problem we were solving, the market opportunity, and how we were uniquely positioned to succeed. Eventually, I secured seed funding from an angel investor who believed in our vision. As for scaling, we adopted a lean approach, testing and iterating quickly, and scaling only what worked.
That's a solid strategy. How did you decide when it was the right time to scale, and what were some key factors you considered?
We decided to scale when we saw consistent demand and positive feedback from our users. Key factors included market readiness, our team's capacity, and, of course, the financial resources to support growth. We didn't rush it, we made sure the foundation was strong before expanding.
The startup world is highly competitive. How do you differentiate your startup in a crowded market, and what role does innovation play in staying ahead?
Differentiation is crucial. We focused on offering a unique value proposition that our competitors didn't have, whether it was a superior product feature, better customer service, or a more affordable price point. Innovation is also key. We constantly look for ways to improve our product and stay ahead of trends. We listen to our customers and adapt quickly to their needs.
It sounds like staying agile is important. Can you share an example of a time when you had to innovate or pivot to stay ahead of the competition?
Absolutely. Early on, we noticed that our users were struggling with a specific feature. Instead of sticking to our original plan, we quickly pivoted and redesigned that feature based on user feedback. This not only improved user satisfaction, but also gave us an edge over our competitors who were slower to adapt.
Being an entrepreneur is often a transformative experience. How has this journey changed you personally, and what skills or habits have been crucial to your success?
This journey has definitely changed me. I've become more resilient and comfortable with uncertainty. I've also learned the importance of continuous learning, whether it's reading, networking, or seeking mentorship. Time management and prioritization have been crucial as well, especially in the early days when there's so much to do and limited resources.
That's insightful. Are there any specific habits or routines you've developed that help you stay focused and productive?
One habit that's been really helpful is setting aside time every morning to plan my day and prioritize tasks. I also make it a point to disconnect from work regularly to recharge. It's easy to burn out if you're always on. Maintaining a work-life balance, even in a startup, is crucial for long-term success.
The business landscape is constantly evolving. What industry trends are you currently paying attention to, and how do you keep your business relevant in a rapidly changing market?
I'm currently paying close attention to industry trends. These trends are shaping the future of our industry, and we're constantly exploring how we can incorporate them into our business. We stay relevant by being proactive, testing new ideas, staying close to our customers, and being willing to pivot when necessary.